Hi, we are Team P6 Communications, and this is our work in progress presentation. A quick look at our team. We have Ruchika, Rahul, Kriti, Momina, Rishikesh, and your narrator Prasanna. First, here's a quick recap on our research question. How can we help undergrad students be aware of the events and updates on campus efficiently? And here are three major sub-questions we asked, which are: how do students currently receive important information and updates? How can students keep track of events happening on campus? How can we create awareness of the various means of communication to students? Delving deeper into the study, we created a survey to collect both initial data and to also recruit participants for the interviews. We approached students through various forms to complete our survey, like in-person interactions, professors sending out a survey link, etc. We left the question displayed on screen at the end of the survey for the participants to opt in for an interview. Looking at the interview procedure, the interviews were conducted in person and also remotely via Zoom, where each averaged around 20 minutes. The interviews were divided amongst the team, allowing each member to conduct and note-take at least once in an interview. Here's a quick look at the participant demographics in the interviews, where we can see that we have a good mix of students and also crucially members from the communication team from the admin. And here are some key demographic information from the survey, where we can see we had a total of 16 participants and about 25% of them were juniors and 25% of them were seniors. Here is an image illustrating how the interpretation session was conducted. We navigated through all the affinity notes via sticky notes on the Miro board. The entire team was present and shooting their ideas left and right. And once we had reached an agreement, which I'm not gonna lie, but it took ages, we finally created an organized affinity diagram. As we had done interviews with two different stakeholders, students and communication admins from the university, the affinity map showcases a blend of both the sides of the system in observation. Just so to maintain context, the two different stakeholder yellow notes are in light yellow and dark yellow to make sure the reader is able to distinguish between them. The key findings from the affinity diagram are: the current information is generic and overwhelming, the university promotes events that they think are important, students want personalized communication, students find it difficult to coordinate between receiving and tracking information, and students prefer the preferred media of communication is email and word of mouth. Based on the insights we gathered, we created two personas for the students and one for the admin. We grouped major behavioral traits noticed amongst the participants to create these variations. Here, we have a laid-back introverted student, and on the right, a socially active extroverted student. And here is the persona for a communication manager on the admin side who is analytical and empathetic towards student welfare. For our other model, we chose the identity model. When it came to our participants, we saw a wide range of emotional outlooks towards communication and events. All those diverse data could be captured as various identities in an identity model, hence the choice. We created the quadrants based on majorly repeated statements by the participants during our interviews. We opted for a fourth extra quadrant as opposed to the traditional three, as we identified that the I do and I don't type identities couldn't be combined under one term, as the inherently negative nature of the I don't statements required them to be separated and identities developed accordingly from it. Upon finalizing the quadrants, we went about organizing the statements of each participant into four quadrants. We then created clusters of similar nature statements, which ultimately led to the creation of these seven identities. The entire process was done very similarly to the interpretation session where the entire team pitched in to create the model. Briefly looking at the identities, in the I am section, we have the situational introvert who likes one-on-one meetings, the indifferent student who tends to ignore most of their emails, the cultural sponge who thrives on community events. In the I like section, we have the master planner who does not go to events which they have not scheduled for. In the I do section, we have the social butterfly who wants to know what's happening around them all the time. And in the I don't section, we have the boomer who wants everything to be told to their face, and the laid back scheduler who likes a heads up for all events. Summing up on our next steps, we would like to utilize the wall walk method to generate design ideas, create a concept or a centralized hub for information, answer a couple of how might we questions like how do we design a solution that incorporates all the pain points that we heard so far, and make some important design considerations, and in the end, collaborate with our users to come up with the aforementioned concepts. Thank you for listening to our presentation.